Welcome back, and this is part 2 of our principle of design balance. We went over the principle of design using art and photography, and now we'll look at it in regards to actual theatrical design. So this is a set design, and we can see that it is incredibly balanced. It's monochromatic, meaning that it's one color all throughout. And so there's not one color that's drawing our eye more than another color. And it's heavily, heavily textured. But we can see that there's almost a center line drawn through this wall right here that divides this section from this section. And we have texture over here, we have texture over here, lots of texture, and it's pretty well balanced. There's slightly more texture on this side than there is on that side, but not enough to make us go, oh my gosh, it feels so heavy to the right. It is a beautifully balanced set. Here we also have a beautifully balanced set. This time we do have that symmetrical balance. If we had a line and we drew it straight from the center all the way down, we have matching windows, we have matching decorative factors here, matching floor design. Our bed is right in the middle of this room. So it's not off to one side or the other, creating an imbalance. Incredibly balanced set design. Here we have an example of a set design that is imbalanced and how that can actually help a set. Remember that imbalance is good sometimes. It draws our eye to what is important. So here we have an imbalance of form and color. On the right, we have this big blocky sort of house or building that has been partially submerged in if it's real water, sometimes fancy theaters use real water, but it might just be very highly reflective paint on the floor to make it look like water. It's orange and it's bright, and the rest of the set we have a few things. It's not just this large piece of set dressing. We also have a table over here. We have some chairs. So it's not completely imbalanced. There is stuff over here, but we can tell that most of the important stuff that's going to happen is going to happen in this general area here. Here we also have an imbalance in this set. Over here, and this almost has a line running through the middle. This isn't quite middle. Middle would be more over here. But this is pretty sparse. There's not much here. There's a few things on the walls, but we have a lot of negative space, very simple. And then on this side, we have all of these drawers, we have shelves, we have window up here, and then we have this sort of little staircase leading off into the darkness. Just by having these two figures on the stage, on the set design, it's a model, we can tell that this figure has way more going on in this space than this figure does. This figure is probably a visitor to this space, whereas this person, has stuff that they've got put places. They command more of the space if this is, in fact, this person's area, work area, living area. So you can see how the imbalance actually helps us figure out which character has more power over the given space. Here we have balance in costume design. Both of these costumes, both on the left and the right, are very balanced. We have sort of the swag of fabric coming off this hip, and it's matched by a swag of fabric coming off this hip. The designs, the trim on the bodice on this side is matched on this side. The neckline is symmetrical. The skirt is symmetrical all the way around. We can draw a line right through the center of this woman, and we do have that radial symmetry, or we have that lateral symmetry. Okay, same for this dude. If we drew a line right down the center, this boot matches this boot. The lines of his doublet match the lines on this side of his doublet. Same with his sleeves. His necktie is right in the middle. His cravat, excuse me, is right in the middle. Very, very symmetrical. Here we have some asymmetrical costumes happening. Here's Juliet, and although the top of her gown is symmetrical, we do have some asymmetricality happening with the shapes, right? These beautiful little metallic shapes. But again, it's the rule of thirds, right? If she was standing in front of us directly, sort of like this woman is, we would be able to see that 2/3 of the front of her have these shapes on it, and then the last third does not. So even though it's not symmetrical, our eye still sees it and goes, okay, yeah, definitely. Same with this woman, asymmetrical. She's got this leopard over here. This is the goddess Juno, a costume design for the goddess Juno. So she's got this leopard skin over here, but again, it's not taking up more than just basically a third, right? So if we cut her into 3 parts, here and here, this takes up one of those thirds. And then same if we cut her into 3 across her hips, here's 1, 2, 3, the leopard print is actually taking up 2/3 of her hip area. So we still have the rule of thirds going, even though it's asymmetrical. Here we have another asymmetrical costume happening, but if we cut them in half sideways, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, we can see that most of everything that's happening is in the top third of his design. That makes it to where we think it's okay. Here we have horizontal asymmetricality happening, where the top 2/3 of each of these people has a lot of stuff going on, and the bottom third is fairly simple. And again, nothing seems out of the ordinary here. It makes sense. Even though it's not balanced, it still feels right. I hope that today's videos, both parts on balance, were helpful to you. Our next video is going to be on harmony, the principle of harmony.